so Coca-Cola used to have actual cocaine in it. You know what I'm saying? Like for the
Right.
first 15 years or something like that of Coca-Cola, you know what I'm saying? The company had actual cocaine. Then they was like, all right, they took out most of the cocaine and it was just like trace amounts. It was trace amounts of
So
cocaine.
we finna just step on it a little bit. Let's just step on it a little bit. Don't take all of it.
So we came from a place where money was just what you needed to get to where you was trying to go. Like that was pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? And basically over time as we've grown from boys to men, we had to start learning and understanding about what is money and how it work and how it operate, and you know, what are the things, what are we missing? You know what I'm saying? And so what we want to do is go through a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, that profoundly changed both of our lives. If you don't know me, my name Corey Paul. I'm a rapper. I'm a father. I'm an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I'm a believer. I'm a husband and all that good stuff. And so the book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, me and Jay both didn't come up with either one. You know what I'm saying? We don't know dad. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? So I've dedicated a lot of my life, you know, trying to share my life, you know, through music and through storytelling, about growing up in the hood, the gospel of Jesus, and contextualizing it, basically just trying to get a game that I'm learning. And so a new step for me over the past few years have been finance. And so we just want to dive in this book, and you know, really just bring it to life, and you know, get it popping. But Jay, you know what I'm saying? Introduce yourself, man. Tell the people.
Hey, everybody. My name is Jamarcus Traham. Um, I'm a husband, a father of two boys. I'm a math teacher. I teach fifth grade math. I love it. I buy and sell real estate. I trade stocks. I do a little bit of angel investing, if it's right. I do business consulting. Just an overall business type guy. I have an MBA, executive MBA. Just an humble guy, man. The guy just put me on a decent path to change his people through finances. That's what I would say.
That's real. I love it. So Jay, so Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. You done taught it to your class. I've read it like twice. You probably done read it 5 times. So just give a quick synopsis of the book we're gonna be going through over the next weeks, months. I don't even know how long it's gonna take us to get through this mug, but just give a
man, I can give you a whole year on it. I can give you a whole year on it.
Straight up.
I'm gonna forward you my my quizzes that I give my kids. But basically, man, this is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Number 1 personal finance book of all time. I'm gonna give you my summary of it.
For sure.
Robert is a kid from Hawaii. He grew up to be a Vietnam veteran, successful entrepreneur. Robert grew up with his father, and he grew up with his friend's father, his friend Mike's dad. Both of them were major influences on his life. He had the benefit of having 2 different perspectives. This book is his journey on figuring out which perspective he's going to take. But in actuality, he actually blended the 2 together, because now he's a teacher of finance. So he blended his father's passion for education with his rich dad's advice. So that's what I would say is an overall theme of the book, educating about finances.
Dope.
All right, which is probably the reason why he had so much success with this book.
Right. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. So if you had a book, you know what I mean, or you can pull it up. and run through it with us, but you don't need it. You know what I mean? Because it's 6 lessons in the book, and we're gonna go through the 6 lessons informal though. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's not, you don't have to follow piece by piece, brick by brick. We given the concept, and if you read it, hopefully you grab a jewel. If you haven't read it, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, it inspire you to go pick it up. But so okay, so the book, so um it opens up, and one of the first things is um material things create the hunger, uh but they don't determine the success. So when the book opens up, it's a young Robert, and he's
Right.
finds the desire to be rich, but he
Right.
has no idea where to go from there. So Jay,
Right.
you want to take it from there?
Um, the material things came from what he saw.
Mm.
He saw his friends. I think they pull up in an Escalade or a Cadillac or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cadillac. They had new baseball gloves. They had new bikes. All of that, and he wanted to like, wait mine at,
Mm.
bro. I've been there, bro. I've been there. I
Right,
think
right,
we
right,
all been there. Like,
right.
wait mine at, bro. I remember my cousin pulled up in a brand new Jag. This was
Yeah.
like in the late '80s or something like that. He had a Snow White Jag with the sunroof, man. So it's the material things, man. I remember the first time I seen Candy Paint. I
Man.
mean, it's the material things that'll grow that hunger.
Yeah.
But what was the rest of the piece you said? You said the material things started the hunger, and you
But
said
they don't determine the success.
right. So I think in our culture, man, we see these things and we equivalent it to success. But in actuality, your house does not determine success. Your car does not determine success. Wardrobe doesn't determine success. You could you could easily be running a deficit, bro. Your whole
Facts.
lifestyle could easily be a deficit.
Facts.
Like
Facts.
you're a commercial success,
Right.
but you're an accounting nightmare. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. 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 That's
But
good.
that's the start of it. And I think when the book starts off, Robert is he asking his dad like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, he kind of like, teach me how to make money or whatever. And he was like, "Why you want to get money?" He was like, "Because my friends got X, Y, and Z. They got this new stuff, and we ain't in the in crowd, fam.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see what's up, pops."
Right.
And then his old man hit him with some game. Like that really doesn't determine your success.
Mm-hmm.
And then, matter of fact, he was like, "These dudes that work for the plant. Hey man, the government talking about shutting that sugar plant down. So
Yeah.
we'll see what them boys look like when that cash dry up." You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. 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 And that's, so I feel like that's a good, like, I like that he started there, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning, because you know what I'm saying, coming up how we did, that was, the status symbols was everything. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So when you
Facts.
young, it's like, as I got older, it's like, dang, I really feel bad. You know what I'm saying? For boys that just really, really didn't have it. You know, remember the dudes they used to get down on because of their shoes, dirty clothes. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like
Right.
the ones that really just had it real, real bad. You see that, you know what I'm saying? And you like, well, I don't want to be that, you know? So you look at the cats that come in with the new Jays, you know what I'm saying? The dude
Right.
that, that got, back then it was a starter, you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, what they have, and when you have, it's better on your side. People looking up to you and not down on you. So in the
Right.
beginning, when you first jumping off the porch, you already thinking, okay, I need to have stuff. That's the basis that you get. Cause like you said, his parents didn't know how to, you know what I'm saying, teach him about how to make money. You know what I mean? They worked a job, you know what I mean?
Right.
So he didn't grow up with the understanding of the foundations, and that those don't really matter, is what's under it, the same way, that we didn't. And so it's really dope he opened there, because that's exactly how I started too, looking at
Facts.
stuff, you know what I'm saying? Okay, how do
Right.
I get that? Yeah.
Um, you got to think about in our culture how many people have took penitentiary chances. just for this particular idea
Yeah.
of being successful. Being hood, man, hood rich is, and where we from, man, hood rich is better than actually being rich, bro.
Exactly.
Like, as long as I'm shining, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I ain't
Yeah.
worried
Yeah.
about that. Worried about
Yeah.
nothing else. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And so so when it's good because to bring us to the next point, because from there, you know what I'm saying, he see what he want, he goes to his dad, and his dad, it's a quote in the book, his dad said, I wish I could help you, but I really don't know how to make money. You know what I'm saying? That's,
Thanks.
you feel me? So from there, you know, it's the part, you know, that when you had that desire, but you don't know how to get it, then you basically have to
Right.
figure it out. Your parents can't necessarily help you if they only have came so far. And I feel like, you know, from the you know, from the basis of it, like I was talking to my mom and she was saying, man, my financial education was just survival. Like that was like that was, if I did the best off of what I was taught to like go work, make money, and don't spend all your money, save some. That was it. Wasn't no investing, wasn't no real estate, wasn't no stocks, what, none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
So you feel
nah.
me? So it was that quote.
Well, um, we get our financial habits from our parents, bro.
Yeah,
Um, we get almost all of our habits from our parents until we decide to change them ourselves.
for sure.
Uh, Finances is important simply because it's not taught in school, or unless you come to my class.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you growing up in grade school. See, I wanted to start in elementary. Like, you know, you got the high school classes that balance your checkbook, do this, little co-op programs and all that. But you know, and they're getting better a little bit
Yeah.
about putting financial education in school. But I wanted to start. The reason why I bought the class book the class set for my entire class is I want to be the first person that exposed them to this different way of thinking, bro. And
Right.
you should see their faces when you're counteracting something that their parents told them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can show you why
Right,
your
right.
parents are wrong on
Right,
it.
right,
You know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right. And
Like,
they just
matter of
did
fact, they welcome to come to the class too if
and
they
get the
want to.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I've
They
had parents say, "Oh, you know, if he know that much, then why he a teacher? Or if you know
mm-hmm.
this, or why he that?" And then they would be, you know, and then I ain't gonna lie, I kind of flex on them sometimes. I might bring a few stacks to class and sit the stacks on the table and be like, you know, I'm serious. Like it's changing their mental mapping.
mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I can get on the dry erase board all the time and do this. And man, let me teach you how to multiply. Let me teach you how to do. Because business is adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing.
Right, 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 right. Exactly.
Um, and even the operation or basic operations that I teach. But instead of being on dry erase board all the time, I might bring a stack of silver bars in class. Like these are
Mm,
silvers. These are
nice.
ounces of silver. These are the, like, you just bring it to class and let them touch it, make it tangible for them,
Right,
so they can realize that, you know, what he's saying is true. But then I show
right,
them pictures of me in projects
right, right.
growing up. I show
It's
them,
a
you know,
process. It's a
and then I show
process.
them a picture of my house now,
Right,
and they be like, man,
right,
basically how we get there. I'm like, okay, y'all ready to listen?
right.
Then we can go from there.
And see,
Um,
okay, that's a good point, right? See, that's a real good point right there, because one thing that you learn when you really try, you taking it from book knowledge to, okay, how do we really start affecting the foundation of how we think about money? It's both and, right? So the tangible assets is what they looking at, right? So you
right,
can't just tell them off the bustle, nah, don't worry about that, you know what I'm saying, just, you know what I'm saying, understand this, because now you can't find a way to connect. But when you utilize what they care about, connect it to them, you feel me, and then teach them
right.
through that asset, now you're intersecting in order to counter culture. You know what I mean? And so I think that's
No doubt,
why it
no
works
doubt.
with the both and thing. You know, it's just what I did with rap. You feel me? Like I took rap, I took Jesus, you know what I'm saying? I put it together, and you know what I mean, and I gave the game, you know what I mean? Because hip hop, it raised us, you know what I'm saying? So that's exactly.
Right, whip
Feel me?
that up.
Exactly, you know.
Now, I had to bro, the first couple of times I tried this, bro, I literally had to throw like $2,000 in class.
Yeah, just to
I just
just
threw it.
to just to shake it up. Yeah, just to shake
Just
it
to
up.
shake them up, bro.
Yep,
You
just to
need
shake
that.
them up.
You need that shock effect. And a
Yeah.
lot of times in our lives, the bill's gonna give you that shock effect, bro.
Facts.
It's gonna be, that eviction note is gonna give you that shock effect. So it's the same thing with them. In order to change someone's mental mapping, you need a shock effect,
That's
bro.
good. That's
So
good. So that
my shock effect was when I realized my upbringing wasn't gonna get me where I needed to be. But
right.
go ahead.
Right. No, that's good. No, I was saying it brings to like so in the book, they go on once he realized he don't know, you know what I'm saying? His dad don't know. Him and his partner, Mike, Robert and Mike, they like, all right, we're gonna start our own business. And so they basically,
Right.
they're like nine or something like that. But they like,
Yeah, man.
we gonna make money. So they started taking like toothpaste tubes. I think it was they lead or something like that.
Yeah, they was making lead nickels.
Lead. Yeah, so they
Making
was
lead nickels. They were melting down the toothpaste tube.
yeah, they was counterfeiting. They started counterfeiting, you know what I'm saying, to try to make
Right.
money because
They got on some white collar stuff, man. They got on some white collar.
American greed.
They was the first ones on American greed, man.
Yeah, they started making money, and then obviously their daddy done found out, and he like, hey man, shout out to y'all trying to get it, but dude, you can't do it like this. You know what I'm saying? And so
let me tell you what counterfeiting means.
right. You know what I mean? So, but you made a good point. You know what I'm saying? The first hustle is usually illegal. Like the first hustle is usually
no doubt.
not as efficient as it should be. And so going from our basis of you trying to get it, you don't know how, so all you're using is the knowledge you got, whether you 9 making nickels or you 14 selling dope, you know what I'm saying, selling weed or syrup or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you just trying to
selling
get
iceberg clothes out the back of a trunk,
straight like that. Straight like that. Gucci print, you know what I'm saying? You know, when I was
no doubt.
we was doing the Gucci print, cutting them out and putting it on the Air Forces, put the Gucci print on the
man, come on, man. You boys was Dapper Dan and them boys back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? You just trying to get it how you can, you know what I'm saying? And but the thing is, it's about having somebody come in, but okay, that's not how you do it. You know what I'm saying? It has to
right.
go.
Let me clean you up.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I was watching an interview with Jeezy, man, Jeezy and Charlamagne, when they was at Jeezy Hood, like where he grew up at his auntie house, where he used to sell dope out of. And he said, said something that stuck with me. He said, nobody gonna tell you how they made their first million, man. Because chances are they had to do some bad stuff.
Man, that's okay. So that brings it to a real good point, bro. So some people know about this. Maybe you haven't. Coca-Cola, right? So,
right.
So Coca-Cola used to have actual cocaine in it. You know what I'm saying? Like for the first 15 years or something like that, of Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying? The company had actual cocaine. Then they was like, all right, they took out most of the cocaine, and it was just like trace amounts. It was trace amounts of cocaine.
We finna just step on it a little bit. Let's just step on it a little bit. Don't take all of
it. Yeah. Basically, just a little taste. You know what I'm saying? They left the little, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And once they left that in there, then a little bit of time went by and they're like, they tripping. We gotta take it out. Take all the coke out. You know what I'm saying? Take all the coke out. And then they were legit. Bro, but they didn't have to like go, okay, we were selling dope, so we gotta go do this. Nah, they just took it out and kept it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Because it changed. So now, fast forward all these years down the line, you got the household American drink of Coca-Cola, but it was built, the original was built off of cocaine being inside of it. You know what I mean? That first hustle, you feel me, is usually illegal.
Hey man,
I got a cousin doing time for the same thing, Coca-Cola.
Hey man, look. Okay, so I'm not gonna clown too much on Coca-Cola because I got stock in Coca-Cola right now. But But hey, uh, get it how you live. Hey man, in the hood, we got testers. Hey man, test this out. They call them chemists. You
Straight
know what I'm
up,
saying? So,
straight up,
hey
straight up.
man, it's the same thing, man. Hey man, just don't go to jail.
Yeah,
If you can
but
somehow roll it and clean it up, you know what I'm saying?
and see, so that's the like that little point in the book, you know what I'm saying? It's like a little like, blip, but for us, it's so real because us now being adults, you remember back when you was younger, you know what I'm saying? And the crazy stuff you did when you was younger, and you legit wasn't processed because that was just what was around you, you know what I'm saying? And it
Thanks.
wasn't, you didn't have a rich dad, you know what I'm saying, to show you the way. But we may not have a rich dad, but we got the knowledge, we got the books, you know what I'm saying, and
Mhm.
we can get in there, you know what I'm saying, if we know about it. So that's good. Um, so okay, so they realize the hustle, you know what I'm saying. So in the book, this is our first chapter, you know what I'm saying. They realize, all right, this ain't gonna work, you know what I mean. And so his dad, this was player two in the book. His dad, which Robert calls his dad the poor dad, and his friend
Correct.
Mike dad the rich dad. So his
Correct.
dad told them, "Hey, I don't know how to make money. Y'all need to go talk to Mike's dad." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's the one. So that was dope too, cause he wasn't prideful in the point where he was like, nah, don't worry about it. He pointed him to the direction, you know.
Ask yourself this question: how many parents from where we from just BS'd us along? Like, oh man, you don't need to worry about that. Oh man, you don't know nothing about. You don't know nothing about that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
or how many of them actually had someone else to point to?
Right.
Because it wasn't nobody else. If we all in this environment,
Exactly.
who they gonna point to? So
Exactly.
the reason why uh I looked up to the drug dealers, looked up to them because I know they had it, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, they was our rich dads, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's
you know
good.
what I'm
They
saying?
was. Yeah, they was.
Yeah, cause you got to think about it. Like, rich dad took Robert and Mike through a process, bro. Let me give
So,
y'all boys some
so
things.
so that's good. So this is the next point of it. They go to Mike dad, and hey, we want to make money. And yeah, go ahead, you going into the
Yeah,
process of
hey,
it.
man, hey, it's been think about how many people that went on the block and told them the same
The
thing. Hey man, I
same
want to make
thing.
some money.
The
You know what I'm
same
saying?
thing. The same thing.
So
And they
what you
base
gonna do? You gonna be a lookout? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
they basically
That's
became
the way
corner
up.
boys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They basically became corner boys, working long hours for a little money. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, man.
Yeah.
That's who I saw. Like I remember on Till Western OST, not Till Western OST, Till Western Winburn, man,
This
Third
the
Ward.
this, yeah, Hood Third Ward in Houston.
Yeah, right by that Sally store, man. Man, look, man. I remember I forgot his name, but dude come around the corner on three-wheel motion,
Mm.
King, in a slab, all red slab on three-wheel motion, swingers just twisting.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I
ooh,
got to have it.
you know
I
what I'm
got to
saying?
have
I'm
it.
like, I froze. I
I
looked at
got
it, I
to
was
have
like,
it.
and
Yeah.
you gotta think, man, I'm going to the store for grandma. We penny pinching, bro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I see the cash being exchanged. I
Mm-hmm.
see him just woo, 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 woo. I'm like, damn, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who else I'm gonna take advice from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then when, like you say, when you don't have you look to the other side, what y'all got? Nothing. Well, they got something for me. You know what I'm saying? They got something for me, and I'm trying to get it. Because everything around you is saying go and get it. You know what I mean? Go and get it. Whether it's consciously or subconscious, you train, especially in our culture, you know what I mean? The way we come up, unfortunately, because of systematic, oppression,
Racism.
and
Yeah.
racism, we don't have much. So when we do have a little something, you know what I'm saying, we really trying to make it shine. So you come up with that kind of mindset of going to get it, but then you start growing from 7 to 8 to 16, and then going to get it. Your mama can't give you what you need no more. You know what I mean? So you have to start figuring it
Well, she
out.
can't give it. She can't give it to the level that you want it at.
That you want it, yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? My mama would tell me all the time, I'll buy you some plain Jane Nikes, man. But if you want them J's, you're gonna have to go get them.
You have to go get them.
And boy, did I go get them.
So they go to his dad, and his dad like, all right, y'all can work in the store. You know what I'm saying? He tell them, okay, right, y'all want the bread, y'all go work in the store. You know what I'm saying? And they work in the store for like something 30 cents or something like that. They paid them dirt cheap.
No doubt.
Worked them long hours. Then after a while, you know what I'm saying, Mike was like, hey man, nah, bro. This ain't what it is. Like, I want to go talk to your dad, because I ain't getting no money. I'm getting work long hours. So he ends up going
his old man was on the union in the education business.
Right.
His man was in the union, and his old man started putting that education, that union spiel in his mind. Like,
that's right.
Oh, no, man, this is against child labor laws.
That's right. That's right.
So putting that spiel on Robert went back to him with the spirit of his old man
that's good.
in his system, bro. And Rich Dad peeped it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you probably got that from your old man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So you
gotta ask yourself a question. Like, going back to what you said, like I said earlier, who can we go through to put us through the process?
Man.
Like, and what does that look like from a street aspect?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what our training module gonna look like?
Exactly. And no, I'm saying that's the point you're making is because you have to learn how do I take the skills that I have, or how do I hone, what I'm saying, some skills that I can apply in a real world perspective that gets me to the next level. It's no blueprint or model for that when you coming from where we from, because all you've been ever taught was work. You know what I'm saying? And so now you have to start going outside of that concentric circle, you know what I'm saying, and actually pursuing knowledge and pursuing people, you know what I mean, that make a connection of a connection, because like you say, it's not gonna be readily available for you.
Well, okay, so let me beg you up. So I was in Randall's, and I was trying to kill some time. I used to do loss prevention in Randall's. So I was in the magazine section, and I was just killing some time, right? So I picked up Forbes. Like I said, the material thing draw inspired and hung in you. So I was looking through the Forbes, I was looking through the Rob Report, I was looking through all those fly magazines, and there was an ad in the Forbes magazine for Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's how I found out about Rich Dad Poor Dad. So at the end of me looking through calls and fancy this and fancy that, there was an ad for the book. And there was a Barnes and Noble in the same strip center as the Randalls. So I literally went on my break, and I went over there and found the book, bro.
That's
and I read a little bit of it in Barnes and Noble, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna get this book, bro. So as soon as I got off, thank God I got off before Barnes and Noble was closed. Went right over there and got it, bro. I probably read 50 pages that night.
Damn.
And I was like, bro, I'm finna turn up. And like you said, if one thing will lead to the next, I think if I look at my library in my office, I have over 20 books from Robert Kiyosaki.
Man.
From him.
Starting with that, flipping through that magazine. Flipping through the magazine.
Because when I got Rich Dad Poor Dad and I opened the back, Rich Dad Poor Dad was his first book. Then you got Cash Flow Quadrant. Then you got all these other books that came after. So I was knocking down one after the other. And the beauty about his writing is they all tie in back to Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like things that he was saying.
That's good.
So he basically opened it up. So like in
Yeah.
cash flow quadrant, he talks about the 4 different types of workers: employee, self-employed,
Mhm.
business owner, and investor. But he was mentioning seeds of that in Rich Dad Poor Dad. So he just like blew it up in the second book
That's
and
good.
on the third, fourth, and fifth book.
After
So
that,
yeah,
that's good.
here
That's
I am.
good.
And I don't even have all of them. But I
Right.
have over 20 of them.
That
The
which is
purple
a
and
lot.
black books.
Yeah, which is a lot, bro. And and
Yeah.
so when when you start to do that, you start to seek. So okay, that jumps a little ahead because that's what we're about to roll into. Because once he gets upset, he goes to the office. He goes to the dad's office. And like you say, he peeped game. That he was coming with the workers mentality, and then
Right.
what he tells him is, you know, he say, "You blaming me." Rich Dad say, "You blaming me, but you the one. I didn't do. I can't fix your problems. You have to fix your problems. You can't blame me. You know what I'm saying?" And he like, "Well, you could pay me more. You don't have to work me this." He coming up. He's like, "That's me. You keep blaming me." He was like, "What about you? What responsibility are you gonna take?" And that's everything.
Bing,
Like that's
bing.
everything right there, because the basis of it is, this would be a whole nother episode, but the basis of it is the work system, the workforce, the way the world economy is set up. It's not set up for a worker. You know what I'm saying? It's not set up for workers to win just off the merit of going to work and working hard. That's not the system. And that's what he was showing them. You know what I'm saying? That's what he was showing them. He's saying, you came in
Yeah, he
working.
designed it purposely for that. Yeah.
That's exactly why he
Which
did it.
made him a great teacher, because
Exactly.
he taught them through guided practice. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He taught through
Exactly.
guided practice, and then eventually he gave them so much guided practice that now they can do independent practice.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think once you make uh once you agree with the whole, it's not my fault but it's my problem, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna take responsibility for my situation, once you agree with that mindset, bro, now you ready to go. You feel me? Because now you can stop waiting on somebody to give you a handout or somebody to help you, and you can start thinking, okay, let me see what I can do for myself. You know what I mean? What am I able to do for myself? You
The
know,
beauty about this book, if you apply it to our culture already knows ain't nobody gonna give you no handout.
not happening.
So we already know that.
It's
So
not
now
happening.
we need the right tools to carve out exit strategies. But we already knew that. Knew that before the privileged crowd. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing that at birth. We knew that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And
Yeah.
so and so in knowing that, then you kind of left with the, all right, now what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you now what? And I feel like this is the best way to put it for, especially for us, because that's what's so hard, Jay. I see the slab. I see, you know what I'm saying? I see the chain. I see the house. I see the money. I can see that with my eyes. You feel me? So therefore, it's my target, that's my goal. And so now I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what's the route to get there? I'm looking at other people's routes to get there. But this is the game right here. Rich Dad was telling them, look, he was like, don't worry about, he's like, you came in here basically because you trying to make more money and you feel like I ain't paying you enough and you not working hard, and all of that, right? He's like, don't worry about the money so much. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
peep game, right? Keep, matter of fact, I got the quote he used. He say, keep using your brain, work for free, and soon
Mm-hmm.
your mind will show you
Show
ways
you
of making
ways. Yep.
money beyond what I could ever pay you.
Evident. Correct.
Right. So if nothing else, to keep using your brain and working for free, even if you ain't got a rich dad to work for, read. You know what I'm saying? You could exchange working for free for keep reading. You know what I'm saying? And then your mind will start showing you ways to the game. And that's the best thing that you can do, is start opening up and pursuing. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like when you get the ball, you know what I'm saying? You coming down the court, you don't know exactly what you're gonna do to the play open up. You can't be
Right.
halfway down the court and then like, well, if I can't see the basket, you know what I'm saying? By now, like, nah, you gotta get down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you can't. And that's the important thing. I want to make two quick points. Number one, when you're in the hood environment, and you don't have these particular human resources, people to actually guide you along. That's where reading takes place. That's why I tell my kids, because you're in an environment to where it's not conducive to your success, you need to reach out and go get books and read and consume that knowledge from
Mm-hmm.
outside help. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And let them be your coach. Let
Right.
them be. It's like, come in. You can find a football coach easy, but can you find a financial coach in the hood?
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. 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 Right.
Um,
Right. That's good. That's
and
good.
then after that, you can't in any sport you play, because in the hood we big on sports. Any sport you play will tell you, hey man, I can only train you so much. In the live game, it's totally different, bro.
Yeah.
So what you
It's,
need to do is you need to develop some basketball IQ
yeah. Straight up.
or football IQ,
That's good.
so you can be good in situational aspects. So when you read these books, don't read them with the idea that you finna imitate everything that they said, because it's simply not gonna work for you. Number one, those people are more privileged that wrote that book than we are
Mm-hmm.
at the moment that they
Mm-hmm.
wrote them, and that it just don't apply to us. So we need to be more of critical thinkers
Mm-hmm.
and bust down the content that's in there and say, all right, let me go to the dry erase board and map out a plan for me
Exactly.
based off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. 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 And 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 so as he comes out, that's the ultimate encouragement that he give him. He give him the game. He basically tell them, look, what I'm telling you, the info and the knowledge and the game I'm giving you, I'm trying to get you to avoid the trap. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get you to avoid the trap. The
Right.
trap that he was speaking of, is the go to work, the bills, you know what I'm saying?
Rat race.
The rat race, you know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
talking about the actual trap, you know what I'm saying? We trying to say
Facts.
this will help you avoid
Penitentiary. We
the
talking about
act.
the
You
penitentiary
feel
in the
me?
grave.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
grave, the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you leave your little girl too. You come back, she 8. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
having a bond out all the damn time, and the
it,
lawyers and the court costs is the only people that
all of
win.
that.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
Yeah, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Even with that, if you do your numbers, if you do the math, if you take the money that you go make hustling, and then you take your gross, the total amount that you made hustling, then you start taking away expenses, lawyer fees, bond money, you know what I'm saying, loss, you know what I'm saying, operating costs and loss, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then the classic Bible scripture, what is it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
You have to, and whatever you got left, you take away what that's pulling away from you. It's not gaining, you're not gaining from it. You know what I'm saying? You having to give
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
up, sacrifice yourself. You feel me? So you giving yourself to get something. But when you understand this game, then actually you gain information. You feel me? You gain information, and that information that you give back out to the world, it in turns produces a profit. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you avoid the trap by applying these kind of principles.
And also, once you have the principle, you can apply it to different industries too.
Yeah.
So instead of teaching you how to do one particular skill set, let me teach you these principles, which is why I decided to go to school for business, because business is applicable in every industry, bro. Every
Mm-hmm.
industry has a business behind it. So
Facts.
once you know these particular principles, your chances of survival are higher, because you can transition
Right.
from industry to industry. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I think
Exactly.
that's for our people, man. We have to get skills that transition. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like, so you can be more marketable, and you can move and ebb and flow through life, bro. Because we need to get, if we don't have those particular skill set, we one industry change away from ruin, bro. Look at Detroit,
Yeah.
bro. Look at the auto industry, bro. Look at
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
Like, we won. industry away. Look at the South. When we every time we have an oil spill, BP oil spill in the South, the people that's in the South, the fishermen and all that, like we one industry away, bro. We one
Right.
industry change away. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So we had to have skills to transfer.
Right. And so that's so it's good because after they leave, you know what I'm saying? After they leave, they get the game. All right, avoid the trap. Okay, bet. So they get it. Okay, so you want us to keep listening, use our head, get the knowledge that you're telling us, apply that, and then the opportunities will start coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So their eyes are open now. And so so what you saying about the skills, that's what you're saying. We have to have the skill, the core skills, so we can bust it down. So quote from the book, Rich Dad say, the rich know that money is an illusion, truly like the carrot for the donkey. You know what I'm saying? The carrot in front of the donkey. It's only out of fear and greed that the illusion of money is held together by billions of people who believe that money is real. Money is not real. It's made up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey man, hey, you know what's crazy, man? I actually saw Blow before I read the book, right?
Yeah, me too.
And,
Yeah.
And oh boy, Daddy gave him some game. Boston George, Daddy told him, say, son, money ain't real, man. You know what I'm saying? He tried to tell him when he was going to court, when they were coming out of court. And bro, it hit me when I saw it again later on. I was like, bro,
it's real,
like, it's
bro.
the same thing,
Exactly. That and that's what, like, that's the so I feel like, and you tell me your thoughts, because I feel like, okay, remember a little while, it was a while ago, not a little while ago, it was a while ago when Jay-Z dropped 444. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he
2017, I believe. 2017.
Yeah, that was like 2017. Was that his last solo? That was his last like solo though, right? Because after that it was the stuff with Beyonce, huh?
I mean, if you count Jay Electronica album, he on every song.
The mixtape. Yeah, the mixtape. Other than his mixtape. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so he came with that. Remember, there was a lot of hype back then over that line. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was like I see y'all on the gram taking pictures with the money phone.
Oh, the money phone.
Yeah,
we don't call that money over here.
Yeah. But it's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
He got flack by it. He got flack from some people, you know what I'm saying, by it, and some of the rappers.
Boosie. Boosie.
Yeah. Basically, like, say, man, you know what I'm saying? Because you didn't made it now. You know, don't try to tell us.
Everybody ain't got no Basquiat's.
Yeah. Don't tell us, you know what I'm saying, we can't flex, you know what I'm saying, with the money. You trying to say we got little money, we little dogs, you know what I mean? But bro, I don't think that's what he was saying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so either.
Is exactly what we saying. He's saying you flexing with the money phone, it's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. What he's saying was that cash is not real. You know what I'm saying? The value of cash not real. So he's saying if you can hold up your value to your ear like that, you know what I'm saying, with the money, that's not real. You gotta actually have it in assets. You know what I'm saying? You gotta actually have your value in assets. And like I say, that's another old episode too. But basically, you realize that money, the cash that we have, you know what I'm saying? I had a 20 in my pocket. Yeah, the paper, you know what I'm saying? The paper money that we have, it's not tied to anything of value. The only reason this is worth $20 is because the U.S. government say
you think it is.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We say it's worth 20. Y'all agree that it's 20, and that's that. But it's not tied to gold or anything like it used to. So, you know.
71. Reagan took us off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what that means is this right here is gonna go down over time. This $20 today, if I get this to my daughter and she hold it for 10 years, it's not gonna be worth $20 no more. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me show you something, King. Let me show you something.
Yeah.
It's one of my collection pieces. This is a $100 bill from the 1800s, bro.
Dang.
And it's from the 1800s, bro. And it actually got a slave on. It actually got slaves on the note. I don't know if you can see
right
it.
there. Yeah, I can see him right there with the picks and the hose.
Yeah, so I put it in a frame, and I put on there every dollar that you spend can either maintain you, further enslave you, or set you free.
Man,
And so I just leave
that's
that.
real.
I leave that in there, bro, because, and another reason why I buy silver and I keep it, bro. Uh, Number one, silver used to be the currency in this country.
Right,
Like,
right,
so
right,
that's another reason why you got to study financial history.
right,
Um, like, so when catastrophic things happen in this world, I normally study it from a financial aspect.
right,
So
right,
like, if you go on my Facebook page, I've been dropping the fraud series
right,
from COVID-19 and
right,
everything that's been happening with that and the fraud behind it, how the money gonna move behind it, bro. And
right.
man, this is just a depreciating currency, man. And you got to think, man, people from our hood, man, we scamming, we swiping, we selling dope,
Everything that we can get
we
for it.
we stripping.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, everybody from our culture, we doing this for a depreciating
And,
currency, bro.
and
And
this
like,
the thing, and to make sure it's clear, like what we mean when we say that this isn't have any value, right? What we saying is that this is paper. The paper doesn't have any true value. Where so gold, silver, or real estate actually has value within its own
intrinsic
self.
value,
It has
yeah.
intrinsic
Mhm.
value, right? Because
Yeah,
gold and silver can be utilized for other things other than spending, and then also it's a globally accepted
correct.
currency. And like with real
Yeah, it's the
estate,
same price here and in China, the same
right,
price.
right. And then like with something like real estate, you always hear people talking about real estate. If you go and buy a area, a area of ground, you know what I'm saying, that actually has value because people need shelter, so they have to build on top of something. Crops, you know what I'm saying, need to be formed, businesses need to be built, right? So this actual property can actually have some value, but this only has as much value as we say it do or the government say it do. But if they go print up trillions of more, then the more something you make, think about the Jays, right? You know what I'm saying? If it's a limited drop, like they did that limited drop last night, you know what I'm
Man, I saw
saying?
that.
That's so
Excellent
like,
marketing, by the way. Excellent marketing.
you feel me? If they only drop 500, they can charge. But if they
Mhm.
drop 5,000, then the price gonna come down because it's gonna be more people with them.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. Like this, if this was a J, if this was a Jordan, it'd be it'd be worth about
Man, that's them shacks
yeah,
or
yeah,
them
yeah,
marberries,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That's them
That's it.
marberries, bro.
Yeah,
Like, hey, but you know what, bro? You know what's funny? I'm gonna make this point, then you can move on.
for sure.
Think about what people do in businesses. They raise the valuation of their companies
Yeah.
because it's the company that's valuable. It's not the money. So
Mm-hmm.
I can go
Mm-hmm.
add something. Let me go buy this company up, buy this small company up because they have this particular department that I want. Let me do this, let me do that. Look at Jay. Look at what Jay did, how he flipped Rockaway.
Yeah.
Um, like it's the underlining asset that's way more important than the money because
There you go.
you can balloon the money up, bro,
Yeah.
and you can do it. That's called flipping in real estate.
Right.
All you're doing is ballooning the money up, so that lets you know that the real estate always gonna be more important than the money that's chasing it because you can manipulate it, bro.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
we steady doing this and steady doing that. That's why I can't be mad at Black China. Black China talking about she charging people $950 to
For
FaceTime with her.
FaceTime or something, right?
Yeah,
That's
man,
crazy.
she ballooning it. That her body is her real estate. She ballooning it. Like, you
It's
want to
true.
talk to me, it's gonna cost. That lets you know right there, bro. The money itself is not valuable at all. It's what it's
Exactly.
chasing. Also,
Exactly.
last point,
That's good.
people need to learn the difference between price and value.
Okay.
Price and value is two different things. Price is how much it costs.
Mm-hmm.
Value is how much it's worth.
Worth. That's good.
So with that being said, you need to learn how to buy things that are undervalued
That's
based on
good.
price.
Okay. Hold on. Let's break that down. All right. Let's break that down. Okay. So the price is how much something costs. All right. So iPhone, right?
$1,000. Yeah.
Okay. $1,000. They gonna charge me $1,000 for it. That's the price that they put
Right.
on it. Now the
Yeah.
value of it, how much it's actually worth, that's derived from the actual parts and labor and you know what I'm saying, that's actually being put into it, right? So
Part of it. Part of it. So look, it's just if your iPhone was your real estate,
mm-hmm,
then the material goods and the labor sheet that you get from when you're gonna build a house from scratch,
mm-hmm,
that's the supplies that went into, that's the
mm-hmm,
parts that went into making an iPhone. But you also got to think, what's the use of this iPhone? Because where is it gonna be at?
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Because you got to think about it like this: if you paying $1,000 for an 11-year-old to have an iPhone,
mm-hmm.
it's overvalued.
Right.
But if you, as a business owner, buy this iPhone, bro, you could probably make $1 million off that iPhone
That's okay.
based on what you can do with it. So
So
you gotta
that's
think about it like that.
so that's the value, because it's derived from the ability. You got a price set on something, but the value is the good married to the ability or potential
Correct.
of the good. Now that's where you get the actual value. The 11-year-old ain't gonna do nothing but uh play games on it and text be on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So then
Well, just to clean that up a little bit,
the average, we saying the
yeah,
average kid with average life.
your your skill set has to go into the iPhone. The iPhone is a tool.
Mm,
It's just a great tool. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like, but you still got to know which apps to use. You still got to know how to work the apps once you put them on there. So you're still the main asset, but which is why you shouldn't be controlled by the price of that iPhone. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
But like I said, if you give it to a kid, then you ain't gonna make nothing back off that.
right, right,
But
right.
but if I take my iPhone and I use it for my tax business, and now I can take payments electronically via Cash App, Venmo, uh, things like that, then that iPhone has raised the value of my company,
Mm,
because now I have a different way to accept payments. So
right,
which should lead to more revenue. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
So
Like,
it's personalized. You have to ask yourself, because if I just bought this as a phone and all I do is use this as a phone to talk on, it costs $1,000. You know what I'm saying? But the
liability.
yeah, but the value of this phone, once they drop the next one, I'll only be able to resell it for maybe $300. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If that, so if I'm just using it to talk on the phone, you know what I
And
mean?
look, and if you just a person, you can't depreciate the asset on your taxes.
Yeah, it's not a business expense, right?
Right.
So,
Mhm.
and the thing is, if anybody that's listening, as we chopping it up and we just talking about this stuff, this is what we talking about. Like this is what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like you just think about the concepts and what it really means. You know what I'm saying? And that's why in the book, right, the rich dad is telling them, look, it's not about you trying to focus on getting the money. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about getting the money. It's about the process. It's about the mindset. It's about the skill set that goes into, you know what I'm saying, what you ultimately trying to do. And so that's how it makes sense. And so dope convo. But we don't forget to wrap that first chapter up. So after that, we talked about them basically just getting the game. Like, that was basically what they was
Right.
doing. You read the book, you'll see a lot of the stuff that me and Jay talking about right now in their own way. That's what he was asking questions. Well, what about this? Well, this the answer. Well, how does that work? That's, it was him getting the game. You feel me? And so
Right.
when when it's all said and done, he like, all right, bet I'm gonna stick with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep rocking. And so then they end up going back to work, but now he looking at it different now. You know what I'm saying? Now he looking at it different. Instead of thinking, oh man, I could go, you know what I'm saying, hustle right quick and hit a lick, he looking at it the big picture. What plays do I see? Do I see anything moving? You know what I'm saying? And he end up peeping game, and in the store, uh they used to get comic books. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's what they used to get comic books in the store. And then after so long of the comic book being in the store or something like that, you know what I'm saying?
The
They had
distributor came back and got them. Yeah.
the distributor came back and got them, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they would cut the, like, what was it, Jay? They cut the front page off, cut the cover off or something like that. Of the comic.
Yeah, there was a piece on it. You know what I'm talking about? That has the subscriber information on it. Like, you know how if you get like a magazine and it got your name, your address, and all that, so that they had to cut that part out.
Right,
Um, and
right.
after a certain period of time, the distributor come back and get them. I think they was on, you know, if I think about it using my brain, it was probably on consignment that they got the magazines from. So if they didn't sell them, the distributor come back and get them.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and so so Robert saw this. He saw like, man, they got all these stacks of magazines that's cut off that they just, you know what I'm saying, giving back or whatever. And he figured out a way. He worked out a deal with them to where he could get the magazines. You know what I'm saying? He could get the magazines from them, you know. And so he took the magazines, him and Mike took the magazines and started a little comic book library, you know, in like the basement or something like that. They started a little comic book library and used to charge, you know, people like 10 cents or a nickel or something like that to come in on Saturdays and just read all the comic books they wanted to or whatever. And then, you know what I'm saying, keep it pushing or whatever. And so they, you know, that was they second business where they cleaned it up and realized like, okay, this is how we would actually do it, you know? And so it's a small example of them applying, like, okay, because what he say? Yeah, I can pay you, but if you start thinking, you're gonna make more money than I can ever pay you. You feel what I'm saying? So not only was he getting, you know what I'm saying, working at the shop, you know what I'm saying, and getting the game, but he was able to start his own business based off of the network, you feel me, that he was a part of. Because had he not been working there and not been in the mix, he probably couldn't have just pulled up, you know, and then asked for that. So that's you know, a little nugget right there as well.
Well, here's something that I saw. So when I started getting my when I set up my tax business and I had employees working for me and all that, I saw another thing in Robert's book that I didn't see at first. When he said that I'm gonna be able to give you, you're gonna be able to get more money than I can ever give you. Think about it like this: they was working for 10 cents an hour and they had to work 3 hours, so that's how they got 30 cents, right? So listen, they charged the people for one entrance fee what they was making in the hour. So look at it like this: in my tax office, bro, my employees was like, oh, they year to year, every year that I have to hire my staff, I gave them raises every year. You want to know why? Because it never mattered what they were going to bring me in the business that I was going to transact, because they were there, was always going to be exponentially higher
than what
I was paying them. So
that's good.
If I'm, for give you a quick example, if I'm, let's say I give them $50 an hour, I'm gonna take $50 an hour. It still won't matter. If you work for me let's say you work 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, right? Part-time or whatever, 6 hours a day. That's $300 a day. But I can do one tax return and charge a person $300. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be an exponentially higher, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you bust it down, I can still give you $50 an hour, but I could do a cheap tax return for maybe one W-2, no nothing. Charge $50 for that person. I already made your salary for that hour in 5 minutes.
To do that return. Exactly. And that's what the chapter when it ends, it talks about don't work for money, have the money work for you.
The rich don't work for money.
The rich don't work for money. The rich have money working for them. And
the poor and middle class work for money.
Right.
The sub chapter of the title. Yeah.
Right.
The subtitle.
Right. Yeah, a lot of times what we do is we trade our time, like you said, we trade our time for money. But the problem with that is that doesn't scale. Meaning, if I'm working for you, Jay, and I'm killing my job, And all you could keep doing is paying me more and more and more and more and more, right? But you can only pay me on what I can do. So say I'm working for you 20 hours a day and just sleeping, you know what I'm saying, for 4 hours. You gonna pay me however much you gonna pay me, you feel me, for those 20 hours. That's all I can do. I'm one person. But you, on the other hand, can go get 100 of me's. So all the work I'm doing in that 20 hours, one of you controlling 100 of me, you feel me? So all of that work that I'm doing, you know what I mean, you reaping the benefits of that and everything else. So you've taken the money you've made, you've deployed that to hire workers that are working and making substantially more, like you're saying. So you're not working for money, your money is working for you. So that kind of comes full circle to the example you just said.
Well, I tell my student when I taught chapter 1 in my class, I told the kids, I was like, do you want to, let's say your whole goal is to move boxes, right? You're in the box moving industry. Well, do you want to move boxes manually, or are you going to learn how to drive a forklift? Because the person that's driving a forklift didn't get to work right away. They did more
Yeah.
thinking. They
Yeah.
did more thinking about it. But when we grow up in poverty, we got to get work right
Right
away.
away. That's good, bro.
So that's how we end up being workers,
Right.
because we got to get to it right away. We don't
Right.
have time to sit back and
Exactly.
strategize and start thinking more like a forklift. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? You got to
E-
manually move them boxes. So, yeah, man, I tell them all the time, the owner always thinks more than the worker.
Right.
And at the beginning, they work more than the worker to get it set up.
Right. 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 And that's the
But
thing. It's nothing. The premise of this is, and not the premise, but the thing to remember in this is, it's not that working is bad, right? It's not that working
no,
is
not at all.
bad, or if you have a job is bad or anything like that. Like, you can be a teacher or
You'll say, I still got a
a
job. You know
lawyer. Yeah,
what
you know
I'm
what I'm saying? Like a lawyer, a firefighter, or you
saying?
can be that. The problem we're saying is, and I agree that I feel this is a blanket statement that I can make. The problem is not that you are a worker. We're just using that for example. The problem is when you are working and your whole financial basis is based off of just you working. You going to work,
Correct.
your company giving you money. Now
You have
that's
no
gonna be
passive income. You have
that's
no
the
passive
problem.
income.
That
Yeah, you have
that's
no.
where
Um. Actually, in part two, of the Rich Dad Poor Dad is part one. In part two, cash flow quadrant, he says you should probably get money out of all the different quadrants. Employee, self-employment, right?
yeah.
Business owner and investor. And he's true, but for my spin on it, from an urban perspective, a lot of times in the hood we have passions, right? But
Mm-hmm.
our passion might not pay as well.
That's good.
So my passion is teaching, but teaching don't pay. So
Right.
I have to find a way to get the money out of the other different quadrants, even though I'm going to work in education.
Look,
You know what I'm saying?
and doesn't make your point that you said earlier. That, you know how it's crazy. You talking about that in teaching? Same thing apply to me, right? In me, or not just me, but in music, right? In music, you don't make money off of music. Like, that's not where most of your money come from. It don't come from
Right.
streams. They pay. It take it. So game. It used to be $9.99 for a digital download. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody do that anymore. Everybody stream. So now, for me to make $9.99, like it would have been off of one download of my album. For me to make $9.99, 1,500 people have to stream that album, because I'm getting fractions of pennies, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying, for the streams. Point I'm making is, in that situation, my passion of rapping, that's not what's gonna make the most money. I have to have merch. I got to do shows. I have to get sync licensing. I have to, maybe get a YouTube pop. You have to do other things as well, because, like you say, a lot of times your passion is not the necessarily one that pay. If I do some shows and I get a WAP, I need to learn how to put that in the IRA, or put that in, you know what I'm saying, some stock,
Mhm.
or you got to learn how to make it shake for you.
Yeah. Because your passion is what you're going to want to do every day. And
Right.
I tell my kids all the time, a lot of you are not going to want to be business owners because you're gonna think it look cool. Then you're gonna figure out how much grinding you got to do, and then you're gonna be like, "Nah, I'm good. Let me
Yeah,
just go ahead and apply.
right, right,
You
right.
go ahead and apply at this job." So um, it's not for everyone, but I have to grind in these other investment ways
Mm-hmm.
because I still want to be a teacher with a growing family, with expenses and with all that. So
Exactly.
if I want to stay here, I have to flip properties. I have
Right,
to flip
right. It,
stocks. I have, you know what I'm
and
saying?
this is what dope about, like, I encourage y'all to you know what I'm saying, get around people that's you know what they say, you want to know where you going, look at the like 5 people around you, and that'll tell you where you probably headed, or birds of a feather flock together, all them sayings, a lot of it is true, you know what I'm saying, because like it's dope knowing Jay, and you keep it G, you probably wouldn't mind saying it, when you talk about teaching being your passion and how you leverage all of these investments in order to keep it going for you, I know that's to be a fact because being around you, I knew you when you had offices, you know what I'm saying, and all of that, you know what I mean, and just overseeing checks and you know what I'm saying, everything that come with it, and that was like layups for you, you know what I mean, doing that kind of
Right.
stuff, you know what I mean, like that was like,
Carl Malone layup.
you
Carl
know what I'm
Malone
talking
layup.
about? That was like a layup, but because you had a desire, you expanded the hustle to go like, man, I'm really trying to get back in the same type of hood I grew up in and get his game out, and I'm gonna figure out a way to make that work too. And then you doing this, so that's that's powerful, dog. You know what I mean? So it's like getting around people that's going in the direction you're trying to go into. It's the next level, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up. All right, man. Look, let's go ahead and wrap it up, man. This was good. So that was basically chapter 1, man. You know what I'm saying? That was chapter 1.
Yeah.
And that that was the ABCs of like, okay, the next one is why financial literacy is important.
Matters.
Yeah, why it
Yeah. Why?
matters, why it's
Why?
important. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get with
Right.
that. So man, I appreciate y'all taking the time out to check us out, man. Any questions, any thoughts, any comments, anything y'all got like that, shoot it to us. We're gonna be doing this every week. And so I hope and our prayer is that the Lord can use us and to take this knowledge and this understanding, and build up our people in order for us to truly be that change we want to see and counter the culture, man. Jay, you got any closing words, bro?
Yeah. At the end of chapter 1, he says, seeing what others don't see. Right. So the reason why you need to build your financial literacy, you need to pour your as much financial knowledge into yourself, is because when you do see things, they're gonna look different to one person and they're gonna look different to you.
Mm,
Your brain is gonna process it differently simply because you have a wider context, because you have more of these financial based thoughts in there because of your financial education. So what may look like a dud to one person is going to look like a smooth opportunity to you,
facts.
and vice versa. What looked good to somebody is going to look like, oh no, I can give you a million reasons why you shouldn't do that.
Right.
So build your financial intelligence up, to where you can be able to discern things. It's just like the Bible. The more you read the Bible, the more you have that spiritual knowledge, you can discern different situations. It's the same thing with your financial intelligence.
Dope. I love it, man. All right, man. Y'all make sure to keep us locked in. And like I said, drop any questions, any comments, anything like that. And we'll get back to y'all next week.